On my way.
Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna, and I'm here in Vermont. We have, well, this is actually my permanent residence now, so I have a driver's license and license plates, and actually took place in the little primary elections that occurred the day after we arrived here. So I am a permanent Vermont resident at this point in time. But we do also have a home in Texas where our children and grandchildren live, and also my mom. So we do go back and forth, and this is a little catch-up episode about our trip. I didn't take as much footage as I had hoped to. I think, by day 3 and day 4, I'm just exhausted. And I just want to sit there and listen to our audiobook or knit or read. So I apologize for the lack of footage for the, last 2 days, but we had a great trip. I think now that we've done it a bunch of times, there's just this expectation. So it's a little bit more relaxed than it was in the beginning. I think with anticipation, we were just so excited. But the last day is really hard. That last day from Erie, Pennsylvania to our home here in Vermont is just, it's long. It's, we're anxious to get home. So yeah, that last day is difficult. So we did stop in Springfield, Missouri the first night. And I noticed that right across the street from the hotel, behind the Starbucks, is a yarn store. But we were up so early that we didn't get a chance to visit, but I do have a little bit of footage from that. Hopefully we'll arrive there maybe in the afternoon on the way back, and hopefully they'll be open so I can take a peek inside. Looked like a great store. And then we were on to, where did we stay? So that was Springfield, Missouri. So the second night is in Carmel, Indiana. Sorry, I'm spacing out. Second night in Carmel, Indiana. I think in one of my little videos, I forgot to mention the state of Illinois. So we drive through Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, and then Vermont, I think. So we always stop in Carmel, Indiana. That's a great hotel there. It's really super quiet. And then the last night, we haven't, like I said, found our jam in Erie, Pennsylvania. We just haven't stayed at the right hotel. So we may have to switch cities. My husband is very brand loyal when it comes to hotels. So our choices of hotels are limited. So, I didn't want to leave you hanging about my no frill sweater. I mentioned it in one of my little clips that people often ask us, what are our most worn sweaters? And I have to say, this is definitely my most worn sweater. It's very sweatshirty. It has held up so well, and it is made out of Biche Bouche. Oh, and I forgot to say this in my first take, which is, this is the no frill sweater by Petite Knit. A very popular pattern on Ravelry, and I knit it a long time ago, early on in my knitting career, and I wear it all the time. So again, it's made out of Biche Bouche Le Petit lamb's wool and Rowan Kid Silk Haze in the color Pearl. And there are very few pills on this. I don't think I've ever depilled this sweater. I wear it all the time. So that is testament to this yarn situation. This is an amazing combination, and I would definitely knit this sweater again. However, when I made the sweater, I think I had this like fear of it looking like 80s or 90s sweatshirt, you know, cinched in at the waist. And I definitely didn't want that. You know, like I said, I was a newish knitter, and I was advised to maybe not do the decreases in the body and then not go down to the suggested needle size for the hem, the ribbing. So if I were to make it again, I would do the decreases in the body because it is such a boxy fit, and it's a little bit cropped on me. So it just ends up being kind of, my husband always says, kind of, when his collars get stretched out, he said it's like bacon. So it's kind of bacony at the bottom. It's a little ripply. So I would definitely go down to the suggested needle size for the ribbing and do the decreases in the body. But other than that, I would do everything exactly the same. I did do the decreases in the on the sleeves. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it looks pilly. Did I do? No, I didn't do an Italian bind off on this. So I did want to make another one, and I might still do that, but I decided to cast on the Monday sweater, also by Petite Knit, which is a very similar construction. It's a raglan, top down in the round. There are short rows in the back, so you work the short rows at the same time as the raglan increases. And the only difference with the Monday sweater that I noticed so far is that it has a double, has a rolled collar. And I thought that construction was actually pretty cool. So yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit more in a regular episode, but I am enjoying just a top down in the round. I need another sweatshirty sweater. This is a very gray green. I can wear green. I don't have a lot of green clothes, but I've decided that I can wear this kind of cool icy green. I don't wear anything kind of yellowish green, so I think I'm a little afraid of that with my hair. I think before when my hair was dark, I could probably wear that because my eyes are green and there's a lot of gold in them. So anyway, so I'm enjoying this construction. I haven't looked ahead in the pattern to see if there are decreases in the body or not. And I'll probably just follow the pattern, and I will go down to the suggested needle size for the hem. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oops. All right. So we did also stop in Chagrin Falls, Ohio, at another yarn store called the Artful Yarn. Sorry. By then it was pretty chilly, and this was a little bit off of our route, but not too bad. And there actually was a Starbucks on the way back out, so that was good. We stopped for coffee. So it's a cute little store. It's kind of, it's in a brick building up and kind of around to the back. You go up some stairs, and it's a small shop, but they have a great selection. And I have to say, the people were so friendly. They had their little knitting circle going on, and everyone was super welcoming. And yeah, I had a great little chat. I stayed as long as I could because Teddy and my husband were waiting in the car. So yeah, so I would highly suggest visiting the Artful Yarn in Chagrin Falls. So that was fun. Let's see what else I wanted to talk about. I have been to several yarn stores since I arrived. The weather has been crazy. So we have had snow, we've had 70 degrees, we've had kind of everything in between, a little bit of rain. We came in anticipation of our daughter and our daughter's family coming to visit for the first time. So I was, obviously really excited, wanted to make sure that the house was, perfect for everybody. And I set up the basement. We have a finished basement. There's a couple beds down there and a TV, a treadmill, some weights, another pellet stove. Oh, there's also a full bathroom and a laundry room down there and kind of a little kitchen area. So I have a little mini fridge down there and put drinks in the mini fridge and some snacks and kind of set it up as a little kid cave, and they played their video games and watched TV. So it actually worked out really well to have that many people in the house. It was very comfortable. So I was very pleased with that. And they did ski. They skied at Okemo, which is a local, not too far from us, mountain. And they had to actually change the days of their tickets because the Monday that they were going to ski, it rained. It was terrible weather. Would have been terrible weather for skiing. So they did change to the Sunday before the Monday, and they had great weather. It did snow a little bit, and it's a great family-friendly resort. They did mostly greens. My son-in-law is a very adventurous skier, but you know, the kids are still learning. So they had waffles on the mountain. You take one lift up and they have a little waffle station and hot cocoa and coffee and things. And they had tunnels you could ski through, and they came home and described this cartoonish, small, white animal. And I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know what they were talking about. So we Googled it. And my grandson, who didn't actually see this animal, said, "Oh, it's a weasel." Well, it turns out it was a weasel. It was a white weasel, also known as an ermine. And they said it was just the cutest animal that they had ever seen. And it dove into the snow. And so I was sorry to miss that. But anyway, I'm glad they had such a good time. And they will be back. So that is good news. Okay, so I have been here for a while and had the opportunity to visit a couple yarn stores that were new to me. I did go to the Woolly Thistle again and buy something, actually. I dropped my husband off at the local regional airport there, and it's right 2 minutes from the Woolly Thistle. So of course I had to stop in, and I did buy yarn for another petite knit sweater, the Frankie sweater. I bought actually the yarn that the sample was knit in. So yeah, I'm excited to get that. I actually are having them mail it because I expected to be back up there, and then I didn't have to be up there because my husband ended up getting a ride. So they are going to mail it, and I haven't received it yet, but I'll show that in a next episode. So of course that is a fabulous store, and they have a great website. So do check that out. They carry a lot of European yarns, exclusively, I think, European yarns. They do carry a Vermont yarn. They carry Junction Fiber Mill. They may carry other U.S. yarns, but I think they specialize in yarns from the U.K. and beyond. So anyway, check them out. There is a new yarn store in Brattleboro, Vermont, which is not too far from me. It's a little bit south. And it's a new store. And so Kim and I were really excited to visit, and we do have a few pictures from that. It's a great store. Go in and check it out. They have fabric and yarn and a workroom, and they have sewing machines and sergers and spinning wheels and all kinds of things. It's a really hands-on kind of place, and we really enjoyed our visit there. And I did buy something. I bought Scout by Kelborn Woolens. So I bought a sweater's quantity of that in a charcoal gray. And unbeknownst to me, I don't know, it just slipped my mind while we were there, but right up the street from Bobbin and Skane is Wonderland Yarns. And I have seen them at a yarn festival before, so I had kind of an idea of what the store might be like, but oh my goodness, it is a color explosion. It is, they have tons of gradient kits, packaged up, and, gradients are kind of their thing. And it's just a fabulous store. Even if you are not a knitter or, work with fiber. Speaking of fiber, they did have fiber. I don't know what those sort of things are called, the fiber, the braids and stuff. Anyway, it was a great, great store. And I was actually I was not with Kim, I was with a new acquaintance. And I felt a little, I didn't shop. I mostly just looked, but I would like to go back and do some shopping. Especially they have the gradient sock yarn that I was intrigued by. So I'd like to go back and spend some time there, and I definitely will because it's close by. So this last weekend I went to go visit my brother in Boston, and on the way I stopped at Harrisville Designs in Harrisville, New Hampshire, which is out in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful. So the whole state of New Hampshire is really, really beautiful. It's different than Vermont. I can't really describe it, but just meandering country roads and beautiful evergreens and lakes, and it's a really, really beautiful state. So that was a really pleasant drive. It was a really pretty drive. I avoided the freeway, so that was nice. Teddy was with me, and he stayed in the car while I shopped. And by shopped, I don't mean that I actually bought anything, actually, because I was a little paralyzed by how beautiful everything was. And there's so much to see in that store besides the yarn. They have all kinds of things, notions and books and looms and weaving and pot holder little kits and all kinds of things. So if you're in the area, definitely make that a destination because it is a fabulous store. Super, super welcoming and nice people and willing to, show you whatever it is you want to look at. And there's a little general store across the street that is also really cute. So yeah, I would like to go back when I don't have the dog in the car and I'm conscious about how long he's been in there. And he wasn't cold. It wasn't that cold, and he's got a fur coat. He absolutely loves the cold, loves the snow, but I just don't want him to be alone for, more than 10 minutes. So I felt a little under the gun. So, yeah, so I would like to go back and visit. I think that is all I have to say. So enjoy the little bit of footage that I did take on our road trip. We did finish the book. It's Not Her, and it was good. It was entertaining. We both enjoyed it. Like I said, not my genre. Definitely not bedtime reading. It was pretty gruesome in the beginning. But it was a fun road trip kind of book. So we're looking for another one on the road on the way back. So we will be going back to Texas for Easter. See the kids. It's my mom's 82nd birthday. So I better get started on that cardigan that I said I was going to make for her. I have a little bit of stash here that I brought from Texas, but I've also acquired some things. So I bought a little antique bookcase and put some yarn in there. I'm not going to let it get out of control because I've got tons of yarn back in Texas, but I am enjoying having a little yarn nook. And I initially set up the camera up there, but this was so much easier. I'm sitting on the couch, the window's right here. I don't need lights. And yeah, it just felt a little bit more comfortable. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the episode. I hope you enjoy the footage of our trip, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi. So we just left our house in Texas, and Teddy he's in his car seat back there. We have a lot of stuff. I brought a lot of yarn, and that yellow bag right there has my Soho square in it. I figured it was really good car knitting. So yeah, we're just about to cross over into Oklahoma, and about 5 hours, 6 hours until we get to Springfield, Missouri, which is where we will spend the night tonight. And yeah, I'm just reading a book and drinking coffee, and I will check in with you. Bye. So we just left Texas and crossed the border into Oklahoma, and it's about 122 miles to Oklahoma City, where we take a big right turn to head into Missouri. It's a nice day. It's sunny. It's in the lows. Oh no, gosh, it's 77 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's already pretty warm. But we're comfortable. Teddy's snoozing, and I will check in with you in a little bit. I don't know if you can see that haze up in front of us, but there are several wildfires burning in Oklahoma near Ardmore. It's been a problem this year. It's just been so dry. I think I can really only remember it raining once, really, since our snow. So yeah, there's burn bans and such, but stuff happens. So last time we were driving through this stretch, there was a terrible dust storm. That was quite a trip. In fact, we still have a little nick in our windshield from the tornado we drove through in Missouri. So hoping for some better weather this time. But yeah, definitely hoping that they get these fires put out soon. Well, we're in Norman, Oklahoma, and Teddy's over there going potty with Daddy. And I found my favorite restaurant, so we're gonna have some lunch. Good morning, coming to you from Springfield, Missouri. We actually stayed in the hotel across the street, and I had no idea that this yarn shop was here, and I wish they were open, but we're getting an early start, so my husband's actually in line across the street getting us our morning coffees, and we're on our way to Carmel, Indiana tonight. And we didn't sleep that well last night. This hotel's on a busy street, so there was a lot of road noise, and Teddy didn't sleep well, so we did let him into our bed. So hopefully tonight we get a little bit more rest, and lunch in St. Louis. And I watched a little bit of Bridgerton this morning, and I'll probably do some more reading in the car. I did get an audiobook for us to listen to. It's I think it's a murder mystery. So it's always a challenge to pick out a book that the both of us will enjoy. So we'll see. It came recommended. And I'll probably do a little bit of knitting. And I'm disappointed not to be able to stop here. Maybe next time. It's a big store. I did peek in the window, and they do carry Noro, and I don't know what else. But yeah, so I'm excited to check this out next time we're through here. So I will check in with you soon. Bye. We're stopping for lunch in Clayton, Missouri, and we lived here for a couple of years in the early 2000s, so it is a little nostalgic, and we're actually eating at that restaurant half and half, one of our favorites, and Ted's getting some exercise. And we have about another, I don't know, 3.5 hours to Indianapolis, I guess. So, really? Listening to an audiobook called It's Not Her, Murder Mystery. So, yeah. Yeah, beautiful weather. It's a little on the chilly side, but so far no rain or anything. And I'll check in with you a little bit later. Bye. Good morning from Carmel, Indiana. We had a pretty good night last night. This is one of our favorite stops. But it's really, really chilly this morning, so I need to definitely put on some socks and some warmer clothes. And I am wearing, again, my No Frills sweater by Petite Knit, and I did want to talk to you about that a little bit, because one of our most often asked questions is, how are your knits holding up? And so yeah, I thought I would talk a little bit about that and the yarn and the pattern and what I would do differently. So we are on our way to Erie, Pennsylvania, where we'll spend the night, one more night, and we'll be home. Sorry, the camera's shaking a little bit. I forgot my gimbal, so apologies. Yeah, you can see Teddy back there. He's doing well. He's kind of getting the drill of hotels and elevators and things. So yeah, so on our way to Starbucks, and I finished the most recent season of Bridgerton this morning, so that was cute. It was very fun. And I'll probably do some more reading, and we're going to listen to our audiobook when we get on the open highway. We'll probably stop for lunch in Columbus, Ohio. We have well, there's a shopping center there. Now I can't remember the name of it. I think he told me yesterday. John, my husband, used to be in the shoe business, and he used to call on a customer there. So yeah, it's a nice shopping area. And we'll get some lunch, and then we'll continue on to Erie. So we're staying in a third hotel that we haven't stayed in before. We haven't quite found our jam in Erie, Pennsylvania yet. So hopefully tonight is a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.